Hey guys, LV here. As you can see from the title, I'm really excited to do this review today because this album just arrived today and we are going to review Hamasaki Ayumi's new album, CoLOURS. This was quite the album for me because she changed her overall quality of sound to this album. Out of all the J-pop queens, I don't think IU has rarely ever taken the Americanized route within her music till now. Yet when listening to these tracks, I will say that the different qualities of the music really highlight this interesting sound since it fully structures the concept of colors. I'll admit this album isn't perfect, yet I still like it because she still mixes sounds within her own musical structure. Despite the negativity that's been spiraling around this album, I honestly thought that this was an exceptional album that showcased risk and still provided that IU touch that I'll always know and love. So without further ado, let's review CoLOURS! The album starts off with this epic piece of EDM. I like how she used this track to get things going because it really does highlight the upcoming dance vibe that's soon about to develop this album. I haven't tired of this tune even though it's a few months old. In fact, I think my love for it has grown even stronger. I still consider it to be a great dance tune because it's so energetic and danceable, and that's what makes me keep coming back to it. And I love how fierce this electronic is emphasized here because it definitely goes well with IU's happier vocals that she's displaying here. Even though I do know that this was released on Christmas Day, I still think it has this summerish feel to it, which is one of the reasons I can enjoy it to the fullest. Feel the love, we can dance all night. But overall, this was a delightful tune that goes all out with its persona, and it definitely kicks things off to an awesome start. Upon hearing this introduction, I can say I was immediately mesmerized upon hearing it because the aroma around it is so different from her usual style. This was also one of the first tracks on this album that highlighted IU's shift of style since it structures into this dangerous pop that's welcome wholeheartedly. I really like how she uses these Americanized elements within this that flows extremely well with the overall theme of this album here. Me and her must be joking. And I love this part right here. I remember when I first heard this, I was grooving. I was like, ooh, IU's getting serious with this. I was like, this is really cool. And while I do love this song, I will say that IU's vocals can be a bit shaky sometimes, especially during this part. But despite that, I still think it complements the fun aroma around this song, and I gotta give her props for that. This was such an awesome tune because it has so many things about it that I just, oh my goodness. Yeah. Girls just wanna have fun, that's all we need. Girls just wanna have fun, dance forever. Oh my goodness. But overall, like I said, this is an awesome tune because it's so dominant and fierce, and that's what makes it a perfect dance number. The next track is What Is Forever Love. I love how it opens up with this lingering piano that definitely incorporates this painful feel to the song. And I really like the English she adds here because it makes the aroma around this song much more interesting. And while IU is giving off an amazing performance, I will say that wasn't the most surprising thing about this song, because what fully surprised me about this song was that I didn't know that it was going to be a duet. It was a collaboration between her and the fellow singer Orata Naoya from the group AAA. Although I wasn't expecting it, I will say that it was a pleasant surprise. Based off the mini forums I visited on, it seems a lot of IU fans don't think their vocals mesh that well alongside each other, which I have to disagree. I actually like their collaborations because I do think that their vocals sound beautifully alongside each other. While their vocals really do give off this lovely effect, I have to say that I love this electronic rhythm that's bouncing alongside their voices because it seriously induces this growing edge within its arrangement. And the approaches that they use within this tune really do sound fitting since it fuses with the overall structure of pop. I can definitely relate a lot to this song because the lyrics within this song, they scream sadness. They resonate feelings within me that I once felt within my past, and because of that, I can cherish this song because of the serious undertone to it. I don't know, to me it's always interesting how IU structures her lyrics because the more upbeat her songs are, the sadder the lyrics can be. Even though that can be terribly depressing at times, I definitely can appreciate that quality because it really does highlight the honest concepts of reality. The next track is Hello New Me. While it forms into this grandiose ballad within the beginning here, it suddenly cuts off and structures into this popish tune. While this song isn't entirely slow, it structures a different change based off the heavy dance number that this album had inflicted within the beginning. I was surprised when I first heard this song because it definitely goes into this completely new direction. While I do consider this to be a mid-tempo ballad, it's quite different from the ballads she's released in the past. For one, if you really listen, she uses these distinctive sounds that suits with the arrangement rather nicely. And despite all those good qualities about this song, I have to say that isn't the best part. The best part to me has to be the chorus right here. Hello, new me. Hello, new me. And while her vocals are a tad bit shrieky on the chorus, I will say I don't really mind that because it really does bring more light to the song's atmosphere. Plus, it really does suit the overall beauty of it. So that's really a good thing I can really say about this. The next song is Pray. I'll admit this ballad took me a bit by surprise when I first saw it on the track list because I kept worrying how the hell was she going to fit this into an album that screamed EDM. And from listening to this album non-stop, I can easily say that this doesn't fit on the album at all. Don't get me wrong, I love this ballad so much because I just love how it screams elegance and I love the dramatic effects it brings because that itself is what gives me goosebumps. Yet despite its brilliance, I will say that it doesn't really fit well with the overall theme of this album. This is a beautiful track, I can't deny that. Yet I would say that it would have been better if she probably excluded this off the album because it just doesn't fit with the dance theme that this album has been incorporating. However, this song is still a guilty pleasure of mine. Ayumi certainly knows how to keep me entertained when it comes to her ballads. It's nothing like she's ever done before, yet that's exactly what I love about it. The next track is Terminal. After with that abrupt slowdown with the ballads, the album finally moves back into its familiar dance mix. One thing I can say about this track is that I found it extremely unique. I like how it starts off with the slow, relentless beat within the beginning, because that itself is what gives the song a certain edge to it that's rather hard to form words to. Yet as the song keeps progressing with its unique instrumental, it stops before becoming enveloped with these weird distinctive sounds, and although I can define them, it's rather hard to place them into a certain category because they're that intense. But then it becomes more aggressive within this arrangement, and that further drives the overall intensity of it. And I must say I really enjoyed the way they structured this intensity because that itself makes me think, where is this going to go? But it keeps doing this and it keeps doing this pattern until Ayumi's vocals are eventually thrown in, and then that's when the song slows down to a certain extent. And when her vocals are introduced here, it sounds as though they've placed some type of a lingering effect upon them because they sound quite prominent. Either way, her voice still sounds fantastic since it infuses with these different layers of syncs that gives this song a more darker feel based off its content of sound. And I just love the lyrics to this song because they match the overall darkness that's found within the music itself. And I like how the song takes a break from its intensity and turns into this slowness right here because that right there I feel is what emphasizes the lyrics to their true highlight. And I just love this right here. Oh my goodness. I just love this part. I think from this entire album, this track here has my most favorite lyrics because the lyrics to this are quite vague as they are dark, which further induces my overall curiosity. I love the lingering message within the lyrics because they're quite haunting with this gorgeous electronic arrangement. And while it does contain this gentle mix here, I love how it just dives right back into this intense atmosphere because that itself is what makes this tune utterly superb. I just love this track. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, like Ayumi put so much performance within this track that it's very hard to find a problem with this. I can't say anything bad about this tune. It's just, I can't say anything. Like, this song is slaying. That's all I can say. The next track is Angel. This probably has to be one of my least favorite tracks off this album. I mean, while I do appreciate its sweet, optimistic vibe, I will have to say that this is probably one of the album's more forgettable tracks. It starts off rather nicely within the beginning, yet that quickly falls apart based off the dramatic turn that quickly interrupts its signature sound into this really sluggish ballad. Plus, the vocals she used within this mix doesn't really highlight anything good at all of which I found really annoying because she's not singing here, she's wailing and it sounds really off and annoying and oh my goodness. I like the lyrics to this song a lot, yet it's quite hard for me to appreciate them since the overall structure of this song was executed rather poorly. While this song isn't bad, it fails to leave an impression on me, which is one of the reasons why I consider it to be one of the album's most skippable tracks. The next track is Merry Go Round. As I said before when I first reviewed this track, this song was quite interesting in its own right. I love the overall effects that this guitar brings to the song because it meshes extremely well with the quality of IU's voice. And I just love this dazzling aroma that this song inflicts because it carries this great summerish vibe to the song's atmosphere. The lyrics to it are something I feel people can really relate to because it easily carries the saddening concept that we can all find within reality. I find myself thinking about these lyrics quite often because they often showcase how I once felt within the events of my past relationship. And although I do consider this to be an awesome song, I will say I'm still not entirely comfortable with Verbal's rapping parts here because it really doesn't highlight the song's beauty at all. However, I don't really complain much about his parts anymore, so I guess that's a good thing. Not much of my opinion has changed about this song since I first reviewed it, yet I still find it to be a decent song that's great for me to appreciate. This song is my shit! DJ Lelio, DJ. I love how she uses aggressive mix to highlight her voice because that itself is what emphasizes the song's epicness. It goes all out with its beats and electronic elements that suit the dance aroma of the song quite nicely. The lyrics to this are nice and strong and they definitely fit the aura of a queen. IU definitely stepped up her game here because she took this slightly new sound and used the right amount of structure that perfectly solidifies her own style. I love this song so much. I can't even say it in words because this song is just giving me so much life right now. DJ, yeah, Lelio. This song kicks ass because it rightly induces the right amount of energy that definitely brings this song to life. The only small dip that this song has is that her vocals are quite nasally within this song, and because of that, her pronunciation on some of the words, it can be a bit off, yet I don't really mind that if I have to be honest. This song is just plain awesome and I thoroughly enjoyed the energy that IU placed within this mix because that itself is what makes this song the definition of epic. And despite my love for this chorus right here, this isn't my most favorite part. My favorite part of this song is the bridge. I'm gonna skip to that part. I love how she infuses these Americanized sounds right here because it definitely screams the fun vibe. And that itself is what makes it entirely cool. And just when I thought it couldn't get any more ratchet, I love that part. DJ, This is my fucking dance anthem since its flows effortlessly from beginning to end. And I can easily say that this is one of the most strongest songs and my most favorite off this entire album. It seems strange for her to end this as the final track. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the song itself. It's just, it was rather interesting for me to see her end the album this way. And this song is something else when it comes to composition. While it does sound like her more standard rock sound, there's just this lingering touch about it that makes it really stand out amongst the rest. I love how it's quietly sung within the verses before exploding into this endless amount of despair. This song is quite dark lyrically, and the way she's singing this easily reflects that saddening feel. She sounds truly helpless here, and I can't help but feel a sense of unease because of that. This album's ending on a rather darker note, which is one of the reasons that seems to worry me. And although that is a silly reason to worry, I do feel that maybe there was a reason why she did that. Either way, I do feel that this negative energy that this song has truly highlights the song's intensity, and that itself is what gives the song all the more reason to shine. This was definitely a step up from Love Again. I'm really happy that she returned to her more upbeat roots for this album, because that definitely was really refreshing to hear. Despite the hate and negativity that's been spiraling around this album, I really found myself not really caring about that, because this is solid music to me. And as a matter of fact, I'm quite happy that she took this risk, because to me, she pulled it off rather nicely in my opinion. And now I'll show you the album art. So here's the album cover. I got the CD plus DVD version of this cover, and while this is a flawless picture of Ayumi, that is a very nice picture. I love that picture. But the only thing that slightly ruins it a bit is the text. Like, I don't like how they put it on her face, because it somewhat ruins the shot. But other than that, I really did like this, because it did showcase Ayumi's beauty quite well. Here's the back. Nothing really there. Here's the insides. Very pretty. And then here's the DVD of it. Here's the OB. I don't know what purpose this serves, but I show it anyway. That was a really nice picture. I really like that picture. Another flawless shot. Really love that too. Flawless, Ayu. Ayu's getting a little bold here. Love that. Then here are the credits. And that's it for the album art. This was a really good album. I would definitely recommend this album as a listen, since she's charting into some new territory, even after releasing 14 studio albums. Even though there are some flaws within this piece, I'm still quite happy with this album, because as always, Ayu always pulls through for me, because she releases her own distinctive style that delivers this excellent execution that definitely wows me every time I hear it. So that's all I have to say on this album. I do hope every Ayu fan out there enjoyed what I had to say on this album, because to me, this definitely was an excellent album, and I just had to shout out its excellence. As always with my videos, the next review I'm going to do is going to be another request. So if anyone has any requests they would like me to make, just leave them in the comments below or inbox me. Doesn't really matter, and I'll be happy to do it for you guys. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I hope to see you in the next one I do in the future. So until next time, bye!